They shared a courtyard. They shared secrets. And behind every perfect smile was a storm waiting to break. Melrose Place wasn't just a show. It was a pressure cooker of lust, betrayal, and reinvention. This is the cast. This is what became of them. Thomas Calabro as Michael Mancini, the Doctor of Deception. Thomas Calabro played Dr. Michael Mancini, charming, cheating, and always scheming. He was the only actor to appear throughout the entire original run. Off-screen, Calabro kept a lower profile, working steadily in TV and theater. At 66, he's remembered as the man who made infidelity look like an art form. Josie Bissett as Jane Mancini, the designer with scars. Josie Bissett brought quiet strength to Jane, the sweet fashion designer who endured betrayal after betrayal. Off-screen, Bissett became a Hallmark Channel favorite and wrote children's books. At 55, she's a symbol of grace and reinvention, far from the chaos of Melrose. Andrew Shue as Billy Campbell, the boy next door. Andrew Shue played Billy with wide-eyed charm, the nice guy in a sea of sharks. After Melrose, he left acting to co-found the social networking site Cafe Mall. At 58, he's a tech entrepreneur and advocate for fatherhood, proving that not all stars chase the spotlight forever. Courtney Thorne-Smith as Allison Parker, the fragile heart. Courtney Thorne-Smith portrayed Allison with vulnerability and strength, a woman battling addiction, trauma, and toxic love. After Melrose, she starred in Ally McBeal and According to Jim. At 57, she's known for her comedic timing and her candor about body image and Hollywood pressure. Daphne Zuniga as Joe Reynolds, the photographer with a past. Daphne Zuniga gave Joe a haunted edge, a woman running from her past and capturing others' pain through her lens. Off-screen, Zuniga became an environmental activist and director. At 62, she's as thoughtful and grounded as the character she once played. Grant Show as Jake Hansen, the bad boy with a code. Grant Show played Jake, the motorcycle-riding handyman with a heart. He was the bridge from Beverly Hills 90210 to Melrose. Afterward, he starred in soaps and dramas, most recently as Blake Carrington in the Dynasty reboot. At 63, he's still playing powerful men, but none as iconic as Jake. Laura Leighton as Sydney Andrews, the wild card. Laura Leighton's Sydney was chaos incarnate, manipulative, magnetic, and strangely lovable. Her character's fake death and resurrection became a defining twist. Off-screen, Leighton married co-star Doug Savant and continued acting in shows like Pretty Little Liars. At 56, she's proof that some stars burn bright and keep burning. Doug Savant as Matt Fielding, the groundbreaker. Doug Savant portrayed Matt Fielding, one of the first openly gay characters on network TV. His storylines were often censored, but his presence was revolutionary. After Melrose, he found success in Desperate Housewives. At 60, he's remembered as a quiet pioneer who changed television. Marcia Cross as Kimberly Shaw, the time bomb. Marcia Cross turned Kimberly into a legend, from sweet doctor to deranged villain who blew up the apartment complex. Her performance was operatic, terrifying, and unforgettable. After Melrose, she starred in Desperate Housewives and became a cancer survivor and advocate. At 63, she's still commanding the screen and the conversation. Lisa Rinna as Taylor McBride, the schemer in Silk. Lisa Rinna brought fire to Taylor, seductive, manipulative, and always plotting. Off-screen, Rinna became a reality TV icon and businesswoman, known for her candor and hustle. At 62, she's as bold as ever, a true survivor of both soaps and the spotlight. Kelly Rutherford as Megan Lewis, the escort with a soul. Kelly Rutherford played Megan with surprising depth, a sex worker who found love and redemption. After Melrose, she starred in Gossip Girl and faced a highly publicized custody battle. At 56, she remains a symbol of elegance under fire. Jack Wagner as Peter Burns, the charmer with teeth. Jack Wagner's Peter Burns was smooth, dangerous, and always one step ahead. Already a soap veteran, Wagner brought gravitas and sex appeal. Off-screen, he pursued music and returned to General Hospital. At 66, he's still performing and still breaking hearts. Kristen Davis as Brooke Armstrong, the tragic heiress. Before Sex and the City, Kristen Davis played Brooke, a privileged young woman whose life unraveled in tragedy. Her death by drowning was one of the show's most shocking moments. Off-screen, Davis became a global star and UN ambassador. At 60, she's a blend of glamour and purpose. Vanessa A. Williams as Rhonda Blair, the dancer who disappeared. Vanessa A. Williams played Rhonda, the original roommate with Dreams of Broadway. She left after season 1, and her character was never mentioned again, a symbol of how TV erased Black women. Off-screen, Williams built a steady career in TV and theater. At 62, she's still dancing and still defying erasure. Amy Locane as Sandy Harling, the Southern Flame. Amy Locane played Sandy, the aspiring actress with a Southern drawl. She left after season 1 and later faced legal troubles, including a fatal DUI crash. After serving time, she's lived largely out of the spotlight. At 53, her story is one of talent, tragedy, and consequence. Heather Locklear as Amanda Woodward, the Queen of Control. She didn't join Melrose Place, she took it over. Heather Locklear's Amanda Woodward was ruthless, seductive, and unforgettable. Her arrival in season 2 saved the show and redefined the primetime villainess. Off-screen, Locklear battled addiction and mental health struggles, but her resilience kept her in the public eye. At 63, she remains a symbol of power, survival, and the price of fame. Alyssa Milano as Jennifer Mancini, the sister who stirred trouble. Alyssa Milano joined Melrose Place in its final seasons as Jennifer Mancini, Michael's younger sister, seductive, impulsive, and unpredictable. Already famous from Who's the Boss, Milano brought star power and edge. Off-screen, she became a vocal activist and producer. At 52, she's still a force, politically, creatively, and emotionally. Jamie Luner as Lexi Sterling, the Ice Queen. Jamie Luner played Lexi Sterling, a ruthless ad executive with a taste for chaos. Her arrival injected fresh venom into the show's final chapters. Previously known from Savannah, Luner continued in soaps and thrillers. At 54, she remains a steady presence in TV, sharp, stylish, and unapologetic. Rob Estes as Kyle McBride, the man with secrets. Rob Estes portrayed Kyle McBride, a restaurant owner with a war-torn past and tangled romances. His brooding charm gave the later seasons emotional weight. After Melrose, Estes starred in Silk Stockings and 90210. At 62, he's still acting, still carrying that quiet intensity. Brooke Langton as Samantha Riley, the innocent who hardened. Brooke Langton played Samantha Riley, a sweet newcomer who quickly learned to survive. Her arc moved from naivete to resilience. After Melrose, she starred in The Replacements and Friday Night Lights. At 55, she's kept a low profile, but her screen presence lingers. David Charvet as Craig Field, the Golden Boy. David Charvet arrived as Craig Field, handsome, ambitious, and doomed. His storyline ended in tragedy, but his impact was lasting. Off-screen, Charvet became a singer and reality TV figure. At 53, he split his time between entertainment and entrepreneurship. John Newton as Ryan McBride, the Last Flame. John Newton played Ryan McBride, Kyle's brother, introduced in the final season as a romantic lead. His time on Melrose was brief but pivotal. Newton later appeared in Superboy and independent films. At 59, he's largely retired from acting, living quietly. Lyndon Ashby as Brett Cooper, the surgeon with scars. Lyndon Ashby portrayed Dr. Brett Cooper, charming, calculating, and entangled in Kimberly's legacy. Already known from Mortal Kombat, Ashby brought intensity to the role. He later starred in Teen Wolf and Days of Our Lives. At 65, he's still working, still dangerous on screen. Rena Sofer as Eve Cleary, the bride with a past. Rena Sofer joined Melrose in its final season as Eve Cleary, Amanda's old friend with a criminal secret. Her arc was tragic and explosive. Off-screen, Sofer became a soap opera staple, winning an Emmy for General Hospital. At 56, she's still captivating and still unpredictable. Kelly Hu as Dr. Ray Chong, the mystery. Kelly Hu played Dr. Ray Chong, a brief but memorable presence in the final season. Already a beauty queen and action star, who brought elegance and edge. She went on to star in X2, Arrow, and voice roles in animation. At 57, she's a genre icon, graceful and fierce. Thumbs up like the video. Repeat button, share it with someone who remembers the drama. Speech balloon if you love these stories. Tell us what you'd like us to create next. Your idea could be our next deep dive.